Hello everybody, I'm Andy with Liminal Entertainment Technologies, and in this video I'm going to show you how to connect ZoomOSC to the Isadora Media Server. Specifically, I'm going to show you how to get a command from Isadora into ZoomOSC so that you can start working on building pins and spotlights and things like that with automation and queues. So, the first thing we're going to do is launch the Isadora Media Server. I'm assuming that you've already joined ZoomOSC into a meeting. If you have not, you can check out our video on how to do that. And Isadora is a self-proclaimed creativity server, and I could not think of a more apt name for it. This is literally just a canvas that you can start to build literally anything video processing wise you want, and it's used quite commonly in the theater, and there's a lot of reasons why you would like to use Isadora with ZoomOSC that we can get into as we start to get more into the training. But I want to show just the most simple possible way to get talking to ZoomOSC from the Isadora Media Server. So I'm going to double click in the canvas and I'm going to type OSC, and I'm instantly presented with a list of all the different things that Isadora can do with OSC. There are 4 actors, and the one that we're interested in right now is the OSC multi-transmit. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to zoom in so you can see this better. And what we have here is an actor. This is what Isadora calls the nodes in the node editor. So I'm just going to stretch it out a little bit so you can see a little bit more of the information. And if you recall your OSC protocol, you'll know that it is organized in a couple of different parts. There's an address, there is a series of payloads, and then of course there's a UDP port and a UDP address. So the Isadora OSC multi-transmit actor kind of lays that all out spatially. So if Isadora and ZoomOSC are running on the same computer, you can leave the UDP address alone. Localhost, otherwise known as 127.0.0.1, is the loopback address. This means that any UDP packet that comes out will come back in on the same sort of loop, and that's great for inter-program communication within the same computer. Now the port, we have to check to see what port ZoomOSC is running on. So I'm going to bring up the ZoomOSC user interface, and I'm going to go over to the settings tab. And here I can see the OSC network settings. The transmission IP and the transmission port are used for things that are coming out of ZoomOSC into the world. We're really interested right now in how to get commands into ZoomOSC so that we can start to set our meetings and controls. And we'll see here that the receiving port is 9090 by default. So inside of Isadora, we're going to go over to the port number and we're just going to type in 9090 and hit enter. Now, when you want to send a command to ZoomOSC, you start by typing in /zoom. This tells us to talk to the ZoomOSC program, and then you can choose a group designation. I'm going to choose to specify the people I want to pin by their username, so I'm going to type /username with camel case, and then I get to pick a user action. Now I am interested in pinning people, and if you look at the reference document, our ZoomOSC command syntax, what we call our API for version 4.0, you can scroll down and you can find, after going through the information about how to do what I just showed you, which we'll cover in a separate video, here's the information I need for pinning, and I say, oh, okay, there's all sorts of things I can do. I can pin, I can add a pin, I can unpin, I can clear the pins out, toggle pin states. I'm interested right now in just pinning a participant. So the command for that is pin. So /zoom/username/pin. Now, the command only takes the user input. This is the thing that specifies what person we want to use, and we've said we're going to do that by their username. So I'm going to take a look at my Zoom call now, and I'm going to say, okay, I have John, Liz, and Jane, and I want to build something that will let me pin John to my first display. So inside of Isadora, I'm going to get a text actor, and I'm going to hook it up to value 1. This is going to allow me to input text into this field, and specifically I'm going to put in the username John. So I'm going to click on the output side where I get to enter the thing I want to send, and the name is going to be John. So I'm just going to hit OK there, and then I'm going to trigger that, and that's going to populate this with the name John. Now what I want to do is I want to send this packet. So just to sort of allow you to visually see this, I'm going to put Isadora on a second display. I'm going to go full screen on this. And now when I hit the transmit button on the OSC multi-transmit actor, this is basically going to simulate a node firing into the transmit actor. I'm going to hit that, and you'll see that John has now been pinned to the first display. So let's make something out of this. Let's say we want to now pin something that is a basic switcher between John and Jane. So I'm going to double click on my output. I'm going to change the text here to Jane. I'm going to hit OK, and I'm going to now create a keyboard watcher. And let's hook up the A key to triggering John and the B key to triggering Jane. So if you're unfamiliar with how all of this works, the Isadora community forum is a great place to learn more about this media server specifically. So what's going to happen here is when I hit the A key, it's going to send this packet. And when I hit the B key, it's going to send this packet. And if we look at the Zoom meeting, I'm going to start with the B key, and we've pinned Jane. And now I'm going to hit the A key, and we're pinning John. So now we have a real basic switcher between two inputs from our Zoom meeting, hitting the A and B keys within Isadora. So now from here, you can start to build out queues, you can build out nonlinear control, you can build out reactive surfaces, really whatever you want now that you're able to talk from Isadora to ZoomOSC.